Hey guys, today I'll be doing a basic video. You can't see it yet, but I have an A4 piece of paper, and I will be teaching how to create an A4 paper airplane. Now the first thing you want to do if you're not a pro, and you can't fold it into the halves perfectly, is you will perfectly make sure to match up the lines and slowly crease. Flip it around to get that on both sides, and then crease with nails. As you can see, I am using my nails, but if you do not have nails, you can get your handy ruler and smooth it down like so. Now, once you've done that, undo all your hard work and unfold it. Flatten it out. You only at this point need the crease line for this next step. Fold triangles so that the flat edge is touching the crease. This is much easier with larger pieces of paper. No, you don't want to get too big, or you'll have to have 5 people just to make one fold. Now, once you've made that fold, crease it down, and it should look like that. Repeat on the other side, nice and quickly, to get an effect like this one. Now it's a nice triangular topped square object. Now for the much harder step. You take the corner that you have just created, this one here, and you fold it inwards, trying to make a flat line, as witnessed here. Now, this might take a couple tries to get rather good at, but after a lot of practice, like a pro such as myself, you should be able to guess the crease in one go and not have to redouble your efforts. Now after a nice firm one with the nails or ruler, you are good to go with the other side. Smoothly creasing that one into place. You might want to take a moment to rectify small issues. As you can see here, there's a little space in between. You don't want that. Now, after you've done that, and it's nice and straight, freely done, you're going to want to fold it in half. This step is much easier since you've already done that at the beginning. And you just do a couple of quick touches, give it a bit of a crease over either side. Boom, boom. Now, you're going to want to make sure that it's even on both sides. You can check along this line, and as long as it's even all the way along, and none of the sides sticking out, that means you've done it properly. If not, you might want to have to go back and fix that. Next things up are the wings, probably the most important part. You must grab here. You might want to be careful, put a finger here so that it doesn't flip out like that as you're trying to fold it. And make sure to perfectly straighten it up. Align it nicely parallel to the base of your shape. Now, you can see here that this bit sticks out a little bit in a different way to normal. So you're going to want to put one finger underneath and then crush it down bit by bit. Nice and easy until you reach the tip, which is the hardest part. As a pro, I don't find much difficulty from it, but many beginners do. Flip it over and repeat that on both sides. Once repeated, you should have something looking a little something like this. Go with a quick last crease, and then flip them up. You should get something that looks a bit like this. Now you've done that, you might want to give the tip a little bit of a twist. This should make it nice and easy to throw straight instead of it going up or down. Now, you don't want either of those things, so that should help. Make sure to carefully put these up if you really want a steady looking and pretty looking paper airplane. You want about its own size on both sides to make sure it's nice and even. And fold those down a little. Do that on both sides, nice and quickly. And that should give it a little bit of flair. And also, give it a little bit more steadiness. You don't want these to be uneven. These are the worst things to be uneven. Because if these are uneven, they can throw off the entire course of the plane, left or right. You don't want that. Once you've got it nice and easy, you can move on to the next few steps. Now, a great personal tip I use for some added weight is to put large quantities of money into the paper airplane. Just open it up and just shovel the money in there. Like, be as unlimited as you want. Now, you won't be able to get this money back, as it will probably fall out during the flight, but it's worth it for a nice, heavy paper airplane. You might have to throw it much harder, and a little bit of the money will fall out the back of you try to throw it or aim it, but that's fine, since you don't really mind. I mean, no one wants a light paper airplane. You don't want that. I don't want that. Now, I'm going to put all of this in after I move on to the next step. Now, in addition to also being kind of light, paper airplanes are really fragile. I mean, they're origami, aren't they? So what I like to do is put them in the freezer. Just like, shove them in the freezer. It doesn't really matter where. Just like, and then shut it. And give it a good 30 minutes, give it just a little while to just soften up. Alright, now once you've done that, you want to get back. Oh, I can't put it in there. It's nice and cold now. Not as fragile as before. Or maybe just as fragile as before, I'm not sure. You're going to want to... Now, as you may have noticed, your paper airplane is, a little cold, a little floppy, and whilst it was in there, it may have lost a little bit of its flair. But the ruler isn't going to cut it now. You're going to want to get like a nice heavy object and just kind of like smoosh on that. Don't worry about the folds, because they'll be fine since they're nice and strong after the icing. But another thing you may have noticed about the icing is that now it's a little bit, cold. So you're going to need to put it into something that'll warm it up a little, like a microwave. Once you've done all that, a simulation flight should look a little something like this. Test flight, go. Beautiful.